Hey, can you guys hear me? Does it sound like shit? Wow, okay. Well, that's annoying. Okay. All right, we got it to work. All right, sick. All right, hold on. Sorry about that. What's up everybody? How are we doing today? Hope we're all doing well. What up, number one fan? Thank you so much for being here. What's up, everyone else? Hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday today. I apologize about this. I need to have some Geek Squad agents look at my computer because this is getting a little ridiculous. But you know what? I think actually that makes sense to a certain degree. So I have a USB dock, right? Because obviously, you know, they only make computers with like fucking 3 or 4 USB slots nowadays, and unfortunately for what I need to do, I have 4 monitors. I have 3 monitors, and then my computer, and then I have everything else, and I end up having like 7 or 8 things that I need to plug in, and I've never had a problem until recently. Like a month ago, I unplugged my computer from everything because I had to bring my computer downstairs and all that stuff. Ever since that day, I've been getting this error on my computer that says not enough USB resources. So now it just picks a random USB slot every time I turn my computer on to just not work. I don't know. Super weird. I just need to bring this computer in, honestly. Literally the other day, I was having an issue with Photoshop, and Photoshop just wouldn't work. Photoshop kept loading a corrupted file. The file was deleted. I fixed everything. I deleted, uninstalled, and reinstalled Photoshop, Creative Cloud. Everything just didn't work. So this computer just, this computer, I've had it for about, 2-3 years now. I guess it's just kind of on its way out because it is shitting in the bed. But enough about me. Enough about all that nonsense, everything like that. You guys didn't show up for this. What you guys did show up for, however, is some Shonen Motherfucking Sunday. What's up, everyone? How are we all doing? I hope we're all having a beautiful, wonderful, amazing day today. What's up, Dominic? What up, Crimson Titan? Let me see if I can restore chat here. Hold on. It is Sunday, April 13th, 2025. Think I got to start a religion for the author of Sakamoto Days because he keeps blessing us with peak. I'm excited. If Sakamoto Days really picked up from last week, then I'm all for it. And I know Kagurabachi was supposed to give us an amazing chapter. Where do I read and find my manga? So I read and find all of my manga on the Shonen Jump app, or also as well the Manga Plus website. And that isn't like a political answer where I'm trying to be correct. Like, genuinely speaking, like, I just pay for the Shonen Jump membership, and that's where I read and find all of my manga. So I think it's only $2, $2.99 or something like that for Shonen Jump app on your phone, and then you can also access it on the website as well. It's worth it. I mean, there's so many good titles on there. That's how I caught up on Black Clover. That's how I caught up on Mashal. I read all of Mashal on Shonen Jump. That was an awesome manga. Heavily recommend. Hell's Paradise and stuff like that's available on the website. It's like $2 a month. Yeah, exactly. It's super affordable. But yeah. Always support the official release. If not, you can access, I'm pretty sure, the free chapters still on the Shonen Jump app and the and Manga Plus as well. Not enough power from the power supply. Replace the power cable running to the USB slots from your power supply. Well, see, you know what's interesting is the USB. So how I got this to work is I plugged the microphone into the USB dock. And now it's working. When I plug my USB into my laptop directly is when it doesn't work. So that's what's interesting. So I wonder, is it my lap? So I've been really thinking about this, and I think I just realistically I need a desktop because I've been using a laptop for super duper long, because I do like to pick it up, move it, everything like that, yada yada, but I really don't do that as much now. And also, like, I think a desktop, I would just be able to get better parts for the computer so this doesn't happen. Because I think everything that I'm trying to do is just too much for my laptop. I think that might be the issue. It's a 32 gig, like, it's a good computer. That's what I understand. It's not like it's like a shitty computer. Like it's a studio computer. Hold on. See if I can find the exact model. It's a... Here. Hi, Sadie. When did you get in here, puppy? I didn't even notice Sadie came in here. Hi, Sadie lady. Did mommy let you in? Mommy let you in, my pretty baby. Aww. Why you look so sad? What's wrong? Why you look so sad? Say hi. All right. What the hell was I doing? The dog distracted me. Show him my computer. Yeah, it's this one. I think it's this one. Yeah. So Ryzen 9 5900 HS. Yeah, I think that's it. NVIDIA RTX 3060. I have 32 RAM though. I have the 32 RAM version though. No. Yeah, so I have all of this, but I have a 32 gig RAM, not a 16. Definitely get a desktop. It's sure worth the investment. Yes, definitely get a desktop. Okay. I have 32 gigs too. Hey there, Loki. My Daisy and work complete. Oh my god, yeah. She's so super cute. I'm so blessed. But yeah, it's yeah, I think I just need to get a new computer. I'm gonna see if this is still in warranty. And if it is, then yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get this exchanged for sure. Start Kagurabachi. Listen, I am on my soapbox right now, venting about my issues, and you tell me to start a manga? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, no, we do need to get started. I've been yapping long enough. Again, Shonen Sunday, y'all. I should have done this earlier, but I'll do this now because unfortunately this is a democracy. This is not Shem D. Rudo's world. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I'm so... Woo! I unplugged my headphones now. I don't know why I'm bullying you. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, we do democracy here. What are we reading first, guys? Kagurabachi or Sakamoto Days? We know we got one vote on Kagurabachi, so let's see what democracy pulls here. God, this stream is so professional. So professional. Should be fine. It should still be fine. It's similar space specs to my desktop. Maybe it's not getting good airflow for cooling. Might not be getting good airflow for cooling at all. I do think what I may be able to do is because I was thinking of having like two computers. I would just keep this laptop probably, and then I would just have to invest in like a desktop, and then I would have my streaming computer, which would focus everything onto my desktop, and then I'd be able to like have just a laptop for extra shit. What is stuck here right now? Ah, okay. I see what's happening here. This. Yeah. Hold here. Okay, hold on. Why is this so taut? I guess because this is taut. Hold on. Why is that so fucking tight? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Jesus. The hell? For no reason. Here while I'm at work in the middle of a breakfast rush. Damn. You're a real one, Dominic. Hello. Okay, that's still working. Where did my headphones go? Why is my sound not playing anymore? Oh, because it's playing through speakers. Thank you. Playing through my keyboard? The hell? This is the worst stream I think I've ever done in my life. But it's okay. We roll with the punches. We roll with the punches. And then just my microphone is just... that wire I'm just going to have to deal with because it's plugged in where it's not supposed to be right now. But either way. I'm sorry. Who wins in a fight? Hajime Kashimo from JJK or Masashi Miyamoto from Baki? I'm not really familiar with Baki. I feel like I would absolutely love Baki, though. Maybe I should give Baki a shot. That might be the next thing we read from member read-throughs, maybe. Watching and listening from the 10 to 10 shift today. Glad to finally catch a stream. Hey, that's crazy, man. I appreciate the love. The clopin. I know that. I know that feel. That clopin is tough, man, but you'll get through it. Appreciate the love. So we got what? 35 votes in. Kagurabachi is winning. So yeah. Baki's just absolute batshit crazy, and I love it. Listen, this is the same reason I love JoJo's. Is just it's literally just bizarre. It's a bizarre adventure. Have to go to school tomorrow, but saw you were streaming, thought screw it. Hey, I appreciate the love from everybody. Appreciate the love from everybody. Now I gotta look into Masashi Miyamoto. I gotta look into Baki. But yeah, all right, we'll give it another minute or two. Let me pull up Manga Plus here. You guys got another minute or two, so if you want Sakamoto Days to win, this is your chance. This is your chance. Last chance. Thoughts on the Steel Ball Run announcement? Hey, I'm so happy that they are announcing Steel Ball Run. Also, funnily enough, you should go to the Steel Ball Run video because I'm pretty sure I have the second top. Pretty sure I have the second top comment on it. There's this, you know, obviously it's a Japanese trailer, but announcement, and then there's me. Everyone who said they wouldn't be able to animate the horses is punching air because it's true. I remember years ago, they were like, they're not going to be able to animate Steel Ball Run. There's no way they'll be able to animate Steel Ball Run. Well, here we are. 2025, baby, the year of our Lord and Savior. All right, so Kagurabachi is indeed first. So, that being said, as always, if you are not familiar with Kagurabachi and you do not want to be spoiled, get a laptop before the tariffs hit. Yo, honestly, Jesse, you're so right. I didn't even think about that. Fuck. All right, yeah. God damn it. All right, I'm going to have to buy a desktop immediately because I didn't even think about that. He said he wouldn't put tariffs on tech. Okay, maybe. So is it happening or is it not happening? Please. Either way. If you are not familiar with Kagurabachi, you don't want to be spoiled, now is your chance to get out of here. Now is your chance to hit the hay. Laptop's the MVP for every stream. True. Maybe I should get a cooling pad for it. Maybe that's a good idea. I'll have to give that a shot. I'll give that a shot. But I will start looking into getting a desktop. Your boy is broke, but your boy will figure something out. Best Buy got that 24-month financing, baby. You know what it is. You know what it is. But nah, especially if these tariffs hit, oof. Because I'm gonna need a decent desktop to replace this laptop. It's on for extended periods. It's on all day. This shit gets hot as hell. Hot as hell. Burns my fingers sometimes when I turn it off. I was there for the beginning of Kagurabachi. I still have no idea what's going on. Listen. That's the best kind of shonen there is, baby. But, so last chapter, we reconvened in the current timeline. We finished the Somura backstory, but now we understand so much about his character. And to see him pop up after the release of not just his daughter's memories, his own, but also Enten and Hirohiko's Kumayori, I'm so excited to see what Kumayori is all about. I'm excited to see how Chihiro has improved with Enten, and I'm excited to see how Somura fits into the story now that he is present. Again, if you don't want to be spoiled, here we go, guys. We're about to get into Kagurabachi chapter 75. Thank you all so much genuinely for being here. Hit that like button if you have not already. It really helps the channel way more than you know. Just had an order of 20 breakfast sandwiches. Hey, I wish that was me. I could use a nice breakfast sandwich right now. That'd be beautiful. Oof. All right, y'all. So again, picking right up where we left off. Tobimune, Enten, and Kumayori released. Crow. Oh, Iori and Somura are seeing each other for the first time in fucking years. If an enchanted blade is unleashed anywhere, he can detect it. Think of it as unusable. We should get out of here. This is bad. Yeah, but that's why. After I kill the sword bearers, it'll be a showdown between me and you. He wasn't anticipating having his daughter here. Must be unsettling for him, to say the least. If we're going to capture his daughter, it's now or never. Oh my god. And now we see why she did nothing the whole arc. Because, oh my god. Cooked. Hirohiko, that is the biggest miscalculation I have ever seen, to think that Somura would be unsettled and stun-locked for even a little bit. Good lord, before he even had the chance to fucking announce his attack. She's fucking cooked. Oh my god, he didn't even get the sword out of the fucking... What? What? Huh? Did Hirohiko just die? What? Did Hirohiko just die? Is... Damn. You're freaking out too, huh, Sadie? You didn't expect that either? Oh my god. Holy. It's like Sojo all over again. What? Hirohiko just gets cooked? Sadie, chill. When he draws Tobimune, he uses these dancing feathers to sense his surroundings. One of Tobimune's powers is Crow. He can swap locations with any of the dancing feathers. Well, that makes sense as to why he's got fucking plain... He's literally got just pure teleportation. That's insane. Just pure teleportation. Hey, Loud, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Dude, I cannot believe... Hirohiko's no way. I don't know how they put his head back on, though. Yeah, Somura is basically Minato. Girl, what's the matter? You okay? You okay? Calm down. Relax. What's wrong? I mean, holy crap, what a fitting fucking soundtrack too, right? If you got the music playing for you and you can hear it, goddamn. I can't get over that. Holy shit. I'm like stun locked by this page. Kuro, shred. What on earth is going on? Did you guys break the seal? Ro? No, we didn't. She did it on her own. Redo it then. Damn. Do you have... Damn, that's crazy. He said redo it then. I mean, he's too far gone at this point. His daughter being alive is just a liability and also a huge fucking, you know, burden on his shoulders now. He was able to do what he needed to do freely without her. Now that's just gonna trigger everything for him. Do you have nothing to say to me after such a long time? All this time. Father, what the fuck, bro, is quite literally... Oh, okay. Alright, it was Toto's sorcery? Had to be. What? Oh shit, fucking full-on genjutsu. The building! No, it's not the building. It's our interstate. This is... Oh shit, Banquet did go off. Banquet. One of Kumayori's powers is Banquet. It causes intoxicating hallucinations. Hirohiko made the first move. Somura's cuts were an illusion. Where is he? It even produced the sensation of slicing. Mr. Takamura was taken by surprise. His daughter's presence must have distracted him. Damn, Hirohiko was right, actually. Huh. Here I am thinking Hirohiko's underestimating Somura, but he's playing him like a fiddle. Oh no. These guys weren't affected? Mr. Somura, no excuses. Protect your daughter. I mean, yeah, I mean, now's the time, bro. You guys are both, you know, I guess it's their inner, like, you know, brain that's fucked up. So it's not even like you can fight with your eyes closed. Your balance and dizziness and everything's still fucked up. Damn, the wonky art is wild. Damn, just instantly cleaving through these fucking necks like it's nothing. What about you, Chihiro? I'll get the sorcerer. The Kumayori's really useful. See, your wounds are serious. With Kumayori's abilities, we can get away. You don't have to get risky here. Let me get risky. If we miss this chance, there won't be another. We need to get his daughter. Tell the truth. There's no way your mind is thinking that far ahead. Harsh. I won't let it end like this. That's all it is, right? Just like a kid always wanting to play just one more game. Is it that obvious? Totally. How long have we known each other? No quitting. One more time. I love how Crow is just boogie woogie on steroids. Besides, he's already coming. The first Kuro is for detection. A beginner has a limited range using the Kumayori. I'll search inside the hotel. I know the Kumayori's abilities. This time, I'm prepared. That's why I used Nishiki to strengthen my inner ears. All right, so I mean, that's one good thing about Chihiro going up against, you know, Kumayori is he's fully fucking, you know, he's fully aware and learned on every single enchanted blade. The Shinichi he didn't know much about at all, and that took him by complete surprise, which is why he didn't do so well in that battle. But all the other enchanted blades he's ready for. Don't worry, I'll go after the daughter. Pfft, already fucking walking down the hallway like a fucking gangster, bro. Bro can just enhance specific body parts. I wonder if he can enhance his eyesight. I mean, yeah, that's a big up for Chihiro. At this point, how would you rate Kagurabachi's story to other manga? Oh, it's high up there. This has the potential to be one of the next big things, without a doubt. I think it really does. The thing about series like Sakamoto Days is that even though it has great fight scenes and it's really fun and an exciting story and I enjoy it, I'm also well aware that it's not the type of shonen that becomes a big 3 contender, right? Whereas Kagurabachi, as long as they keep tracking along and doing well, this has the potential to be like a big viral hit when it comes out in anime. It was a big viral hit when the manga came out. And I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen kind of had a very similar opening, right? When Jujutsu Kaisen slowly started to creep on the scene and get big in the manga scene, like there's reasons why certain series pop off and certain series don't. Why certain series are top and jump but don't top the charts globally. And it's because there is, like, I don't want to say a niche, but there is a specific type of shonen that everyone is able to get into, preferably the target demographic, you know, teenage boys. And this is the kind of manga that teenage boys love, to be completely honest with you. Jujutsu Kaisen, that stuff, that Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, like there is a similar vibe. And while they're all different in many ways, there is one thing, you know, to see, and it's just, you know, a cool ass main character, you know, fighting for what they believe. That's Akane Banashi for me. Peak storytelling, but Rakugo's so niche to Japan that it'll never go truly mainstream. Yeah, I mean, look at Mission Yozakura Family, Undead Unluck, you know. It's just a really good series, but they just don't have mainstream appeal. Whereas, like, I feel like Kagurabachi probably has mainstream appeal. Don't worry, I'll go after the daughter. And this time, I'll win. Damn, the clash again. You better actually try to kill me this time. Last time, I didn't know the Kumayori's whereabouts. Now that I found it, I've got no issues killing you. Huh. Damn, leaving Somura and Iori to themselves. Seiichi Somura is the Hoshaku's most powerful weapon right now. We must wield him wisely and then sacrifice him for the greatest possible gain. Nah, Hirohiko's definitely not dying here. Honestly, that's why that decapitation took me by fucking surprise. That's his fate. One key to sealing his fate is his daughter. Depending on how the battle in Kyoto is going, we'll fire 2 arrows. Deep down, right below us, lies the Shinichi and Kamunabi headquarters. Quite the obstacle. Oh dear, this is gonna be rough. It appears it's time. Oh. Oh no. Huh. Wow. They said, all right. The owl's gone. Time to infiltrate. Whew. That's scary. Yora and his fucking top hat friend, who we still don't have a name for. Loud, thank you for the 10 dono. Do you think Hirohiko will survive this fight with Chihiro? 110%. That's why I was so surprised that Hirohiko got done like Somura there, and I'm happy to see that it was like an illusion, because Hirohiko sounds like to me is meant to be the perfect foil for Chihiro. I think Hirohiko is going to continue on the story and maintain as like a perfect rival to Hiro. Now we said that for Sojo, but granted, Hirohiko makes much more sense, right? Sojo was like a man in his 30s that just so happened to be, you know, perfectly, like, you know, synchronized with Cloud Gouger, and be the perfect, you know, first villain for Chihiro to encounter. Someone to set off that, hey, other people that have other philosophies are going to use your father's swords, and that's something that you need to understand. Whereas Hirohiko is the same age, a much more direct rival. And yeah, no, he definitely gives Mahito vibes. I don't think it's just you. I think everyone definitely sees the Mahito vibes. Hirohiko's just a fucking, an awesome fucking character. And a great foil to Chihiro. But yeah, Kamunabi HQ getting infiltrated. I guess that means that if they can get the Shinichi, they don't need Somura and his daughter anymore, I don't think, right? We about to see Hiyuki versus Hishaku? That's a good point. Haven't seen Hiyuki in a hot minute. About to see her fight Yora and the fucking tree guy. I want to know what this guy's deal is. Gotta know what's up with this guy. Why does Yora trust him so much? What's his name? What's his relationship to Yora? No way Yora and Trishaku can fight Hiyuki. Yora and Trishaku can 100% fight Hiyuki. I think Yora is able to Yora was like playing around with Chihiro in the Rakuzachi arc. I am not at all I really don't think that was Yora's full power. If you look back at it, Koragumo's kind of trash compared to other blades. Somura, you get steroid boogie woogie. Misaka, you get Mei. It's kind of powerful, but it has to be charged and can't be spammed. Yeah, you're not wrong. Cloud Gouger was definitely like the tutorial, the introduction Enchanted Blade. But you could probably say the same thing about Chihiro, you know, but again, the Enchanted Blades develop with their wielders. So like, who's to say that Cloud Gouger wouldn't have become something even worse with time? Since Kagurabachi is going to be an anime, what do you want to do the OP? It's tough to say. I really do enjoy like the dedicated OPs, right? Like Don to Don having a dedicated OP was beautiful. I think having songs dedicated to the anime is best, so it's tough to say. But Creepy Nuts always does a great job, but I think Creepy Nuts isn't the kind of vibe that Kagurabachi wants to hit. Sims, not bad. They did great with the Attack on Titan songs. What up, Jinken? How we doing? Toby Mune, my favorite sword currently? Yeah, Toby Mune's sword is dope. Toby Mune's sword is 100% dope. This definitely did not develop in a way that most people would have expected. That's for sure. Did not develop at all in a way that most people would expect. Sheesh. Aura farming in this manga might rival Jinwoo in solo leveling. Now that's tough to say. The aura farming, solo leveling is literally aura farming the manhwa. Kagurabachi definitely has potential because Chihiro does be aura farming way too much in the series. Every chapter at least, he's got a quota to hit. Anyway, that being said, what I am going to do really quickly is I'm going to shift gears for a moment and I'm going to do a full recap of the chapter. So I may not be able to see chat if anything happens. That being said, hit that like button if you haven't already. Helps the channel way more than you know. And I'm going to go ahead and just recap the chapter for the second channel. Go through free, just worked 4 a.m. to 11 a.m. Damn, man. I hope that last breakfast sandwich order was the last thing you had to do. I'm glad you're done with your day. Enjoy the rest of your time. That is a long ass shift, and it starts early as hell. Hi, Harley. How we doing, baby? Now I got both babies. Now I got both babies. All right. Yeah, I'm still gonna be doing streams. We still have to read Sakamoto days. I'm not leaving anywhere. I'm just gonna be. It's gonna be tough for me to watch chat. But yeah, hit that like button, guys. So while we didn't get this big all-out triple battle with the 3 enchanted blades of Tobimune, Enten, and Kumayori, I do have to say what we got is really just as good in comparison, because it's always good to see that Hokuzono isn't afraid to throw us for a loop and change the story of Kagurabachi from what the audience expects to happen. We all genuinely thought this was going to be a climactic moment when Hirohiko, Chihiro, and Somura all released their blades at once, and it just turned out to be one of the most craziest misdirections, because when I tell you my jaw was on the floor watching not just how swiftly Somura took out his prey, but just how neatly Hirohiko and Todo played the situation. Because Hirohiko, I really have to say, has impressed me every chapter that he's in. Not only was he just able to learn the pure EI style in like 1 to 2 watches of Chihiro, he also, despite having next to really no training at all with Kumayori, was able to, what I imagine, just learn about its abilities and then release its banquet ability on contact fast enough to not die from Somura, because again, Somura did not waste any time. Hirohiko thought seeing Iori would throw Somura off of his game and make him hesitate for a minute, and ultimately this does end up being true, but we see even Somura hesitating only leaves about 1 millisecond of time for reaction, because if Hirohiko did not release Banquet when he did, that would have been endgame. And also, if he released any other ability besides Banquet, because we still don't know what the other 2 abilities are, but Banquet being a hallucinogen, fully causing illusions like a genjutsu almost on everyone that's in the vicinity except apparently the Hishaku henchmen. So it seems like Kumayori can even select the targets that get hit, and it goes out by sound because Chihiro actually blocks the sound and dulls it through putting Nishiki in his ear, which is also another amazing level up for Chihiro to just on the fly come up with the perfect defense. This also shows a new side to Chihiro that we were very well aware of but didn't get a chance to really see since Sojo. In the Rakuzachi arc, when Chihiro was going up against Kyora Sazanami and the Shinichi, because Chihiro knew next to nothing about the Shinichi, because obviously Kunishige refused to even admit the tragedy that occurred from that sword, Chihiro was very much at a disadvantage. But now, fully well aware of everything that Kumayori can bring to the table, Chihiro is going into this battle against Hirohiko just basically downloading his entire moveset. From Somura's quick blitz of Hirohiko, of Todo, and of everybody. From his quick blitz of Todo, Hirohiko, it's very clear that we also get some information in regards to Tobimune, is what I'm trying to say. God damn it. But yeah, we get a nice reveal of Tobimune when he cuts right through Hirohiko and Todo, because Tobimune is not just releasing all of these different crows and feathers, but which help Somura sense his surroundings because he's obviously blind. So without having the ninja squad with him now, having all of the different feathers of Tobimune allows Somura to fight solo much better and project his senses onto everything else. But on top of that, it's basically why he's able to teleport himself at such a fast rate. Now that Somura has all of these feathers covering the battlefield, he can basically switch places with every single one of these feathers at any given time. So he literally can just appear wherever he needs to, appear behind you, in front of you, to the side of you. Somura's Tobimune is one of, if not the strongest enchanted blade, because in combination with the owl that is able to cover all of the country with its vision, and he can just teleport anywhere he needs to, drop a bunch of feathers anywhere from that owl. What a perfect combination. Somura is essentially a one-man army through this, and the only thing that quite literally stops him from taking control of this entire situation is because Iori is here and present. I thought it was interesting that instead of even acknowledging his daughter, Somura instead goes to yell almost at the what's these guys' names? I always forget their name because we haven't heard them in a while. The Ninja Squad. The Masumi. Ah, yes. Somura goes right to blaming the Masumi for potentially breaking the seal on Iori. And when they admit that they had nothing to do with it and Iori quite literally broke it on her own, which in my opinion should elicit some kind of, wow, her memory of me was that strong, her love for me was that strong that she wanted to break the seal mentally of her own accord. It was able to break this spell that we cast on her. Without breaking a beat, he says, redo the seal. And while this seems heartless, and Iori even says, you don't have anything to say to me, now that we have all of Somura's backstory, while I don't agree, I can understand his philosophy behind this. Not having his daughter has not only kept her safe and made sure that she has nothing to do with this conflict and getting into trouble, besides the fact that the Hishaku were close to finding her despite the seal, Somura was able to commit these acts of atrocity free of guilt because his daughter did not know what he was doing. His daughter didn't even know he was alive. Now that his daughter not only remembers him, knows that he's alive, she's aware of these evil acts that he's committing, killing his friends and then killing the Hishaku, potentially dooming the country and working as a rogue warrior all by himself because he believes that only he can stop this tragedy. It's quite clear to me that Somura needs his daughter to be away from him. Somura needs his daughter to not know. We saw how much his PTSD and his trauma weighed on him in the flashback where he couldn't even be with his wife and daughter because of the PTSD he held from the Seitei genocide. Now, the fact that he's doing all of this to try and hopefully, by the way, is a big hopefully, because we still don't even know if he's going to be able to accomplish this, because what we find out at the end of the chapter is despite Somura thinking he's one step ahead of the Hishaku, Yora and his friend are still playing Somura like a fiddle. And it seems like this tracks with what the Hishaku are capable to do. They are all very intelligent, all very cunning warriors that are going up against very righteous, justice-filled, almost samurai, you could say, right? They're very honorable. Somura has defied his honor, but at the end of the day, he still has a moral code. Whereas people like Kurohiko, specifically, is more than willing to use his Kumeyori, which is so fitting for a Hishaku member, by the way, to enact insane illusions that put everyone at risk and then could potentially end up with Iori dead, even though their ultimate plan is to save Iori, right? Not save, but kidnap her and get her under the Hishaku rule. And it comes to a head when they're about to escape. Toto wants to leave, and Hirohiko refuses to leave. He says, if they leave right now, they'll never be able to capture Somura's daughter, and they have to accomplish their mission. And Toto's not stupid. Toto and Hirohiko have apparently known each other for a while. It's assumed that these Hishaku children have been molded by Yora for a very long time. So they might as well have grown up together in this Hishaku world. Whatever Yora has done with these people, he has done to Toto. He probably did it to Kuguri as well. she's not dumb. She knows that he just wants to fight Chihiro and he doesn't want to give up. This is a chance for him to go back, fight Chihiro, and get a W. Get the W that was stolen from him in the last fight when Chihiro was teleported away by the storage technique. Hirohiko is putting his life at risk because it's what he wants to do, because it's what he believes he needs to do. This is all a game to him, as Todo confirms. Nothing matters besides going back, fighting Chihiro, saving the daughter, and being able to say that he didn't give up and he tried his best. And it's another reason as to why Hirohiko is the perfect foil for Chihiro. The exact same kind of drive and motivation, just in a completely different direction from the main character. Hirohiko having that fake death panel that we saw, Todo dying was one thing. Todo really hasn't done much this entire arc, so it really didn't surprise me that Hokuzono was willing to sacrifice her for the crazy Somura glow up moment. But when Hirohiko had his head decapitated, I felt a big loss in my heart. Almost the same as when we lost Sojo. A perfect rival, a perfect foil for Chihiro to bounce off of and have these great fights with. Kuguri, sure, is one thing, which I don't even know where he is right now. But he might still be on top, and that might be who fights Somura. Rest in peace. But Hirohiko is the perfect person, and watching someone that has the same kind of drive and motivation and just inspiration makes it interesting to watch, and especially seeing how the other two Kumayori abilities and the true realm of the Enchanted Blade will begin to adapt to Hirohiko's aspect of freedom, a student of freedom. What will Kumayori gift to Hirohiko, like we've watched Enten gift things to Chihiro? As the chapter comes to an end and Chihiro goes to after Hirohiko and the sorcerer Todo of the Hashaku, knowing that Iori will be safe because Somura is here, Chihiro knows that regardless of what Somura's feelings are on the matter, regardless that Somura wants to kill all Enchanted Blade wielders, he can't just leave his daughter to die. He never will be able to do this. So what does he do? Chihiro makes an educated guess and says, I'm going after them. Somura will protect Iori. And the ninjas are, of course, going to stay with him, even though they are kind of messed up by Banquet's abilities. And Chihiro makes the right decision because Somura immediately cuts down every Hashaku henchman that's going after Iori in that moment. And as Chihiro and Hirohiko meet down below in the hotel and continue fighting each other, Hirohiko knows that this is another battle to the death. Chihiro also is aware that he needs to kill Hirohiko now, or Hirohiko will continue to grow stronger and become too much of a threat for him to handle. Chihiro makes a very offhanded lie, in my opinion, where he says, oh, I just needed Kumayori. I just needed to know where Kumayori was. Now I can kill you without hesitation, which, sure, Chihiro, I believe that. You want to save all the Enchanted Blades, but let's be real here. Hirohiko's come up was way too much for you to handle. The fact that you were able to best him in that sword draw was great, but let's not get cocky here. I personally put these two fucking badasses neck and neck right now. They are so even when it comes to power. So genuinely, I am interested to see where this goes. Is Hirohiko going to die here? I highly doubt it. I very much doubt this will be the last round 2 Chihiro and Hirohiko have. Well, it will be the last round 2, but there'll be a round 3, might even be a round 4. Chihiro works best when he has a character to bounce off of. His aura farming is multiplied by someone that can match his energy every chance that he gets. And speaking of matching energy, we now have a B plot to this arc that may end up being another big moment that changes the landscape of the story as a whole. Because while all of this is going on at the Bloodshed Hotel, Somura is doing his best to protect Iori. Chihiro and Hirohiko, now with their Enchanted Blades released, are able to fight all out with each other. Back in Tokyo, we have Yura and Yura's friend, the Tree Sorcerer, who, just like always, are still one step ahead of everybody else, still playing 4D, 5D chess above all of these other people's intelligence, because Yura says, hey, Somura is our greatest weapon right now. He is our greatest asset. We have to use him correctly. And come to find out that this might have been the perfect plan that they ever had. Iori breaking her memory seal might have been one of the best coincidences that Yura could have asked for. Because now that Somura is, we know for a fact, hesitating, he is stuck in a place where he has no choice but to defend his daughter and keep her safe. Chihiro inadvertently also gives Yura the layup, because now that his daughter is in his grasp, they can, as they say, fire 2 arrows. What does Yura mean by this? Well, the first arrow, I have to imagine, is the very fact that Yura and his partner are right on top of the Shinichi's lair, right on top of Kamunabi headquarters. Before, when Somura was patrolling everywhere, there was no way they'd ever be able to make an infiltration like this. Now, as the owl dissipates, as Somura is forced to stay at the Bloodshed Hotel, they are free to make their move and attack. It's the exact moment that they've been waiting for this whole time. Which, again, what is going to happen in this infiltration? Is there anyone that the Kamunabi has that are going to be able to take on Yura and his partner? Is Hiyuki there? Is Hiyuki going to be enough? But is Azami? Are we finally going to be able to see Azami? You know, I need to know how we're going to be able to solve this problem, because it just seems like this is going to be another side of the Swordbearer assassination arc, if we really are still in the same story, that the Hashaku have one-upped us and won again. But until next week, until the next chapter, we'll just have to wait and see what that second arrow is. Is there a way that they can kill Somura and Iori in one shot now that they no longer need him? Has Somura provided them with the perfect opportunity to steal the Shinichi, and then he has used up all of his necessity for them? Where is Shiba? What is going to happen next? I don't know, but I do know that I'll be here every single week reading this series and talking about it. So thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, hit that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss any future Kagurabachi videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, we are still streaming. Do not worry, we are still streaming. We are moving to Sakamoto days in like 5-10 minutes. We're gonna take a brief little, breather. But how the heck are you guys doing? Is my question. What did you guys think of that chapter? Was that a 10 out of 10? That was a good chapter for me. That was a really good chapter for me. Ayo, thank you for the 5 gifted members, Loud. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much for the donos this stream. I appreciate the love. I appreciate every single bit of it. Watching the Chilling Tales of Sabrina. What's that? Is that an offset of the Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Can't wait for chapter 209. Thank you. Oh yeah, it's time for Sakamoto days. I'm excited. Is it too early to be drunk? Oh wait, that's just me. Hey, you know what? Sometimes it's allowed. Depends on the depends on the day, depends on the year, depends on the holiday. But hey, sometimes it's allowed. Sometimes day drinking is fun. It doesn't always have to be sad. Who's the better mangaka, Gege or Fujimoto? Probably overall, I'd probably put my chips on Gege personally, but Fujimoto is also great in my opinion. It's tough. I think Gege as a full package is better in my opinion, but Fujimoto is just an amazing storyteller, character writer. They're both... see, here's the thing. They both do great things that I love. I think Gege's really good with characters, but so is Fujimoto. Fujimoto's better with dialogue, in my opinion. Fujimoto's much better with characters interacting, characters having dialogue, in my opinion. Better showing facial expressions, but Gege's also great at showing facial expressions too. I don't know. They're both really good. I'm just kidding, but it'd be nice to be at the beach right now. Hey, listen, that's what I'm saying. Now that's the perfect time to be day drunk. That's a happy day drunk right there. They're both great mangakas. It's tough to say who would be better. Like I said, I think personally I'd put my chips on Gege, but they're both like two of my favorite stories. But I think Jujutsu Kaisen just hits a little bit more for me. But Chainsaw Man's also high up there. I haven't seen Slam Dunk. I have not seen Slam Dunk personally. I need to check that out. So Blue Lock for me right now. But maybe that'll change. Blue Lock just hits a different way, man. Blue Lock is something else. Nervous about this Sakamoto Days chapter? What could possibly happen? That's what I'm curious about. Remember I was first introduced to JJK through a video called Gojo vs. Makima. I was first introduced through JJK because someone made a video, I think, that was hyping up JJK before its anime came out, and it was basically just like going over what Jujutsu Kaisen was about. Like, hey, you know, this is the, you know, it's cursed spirits, blah, 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 blah. This is, oh, also, like, every character has, like, a one-hit kill technique, and the battles mostly surround having to get around that one-hit kill technique, which ended up not being the exact case, but, like, obviously this was, like, right when, like, Gojo versus Jogo and, like, everything was, like, you know, yeah. Is season 3 of JJK coming this summer? I doubt it. They would have announced it if it was coming. A lot of people were hoping it would get announced in March, but I don't think there was nothing, I believe. There was no announcements for JJK, so maybe we'll get an announcement in the summer. But Mappa, I think, Mappa is probably finishing the Rize movie. When does the Rize movie come out? I know the team that works on Chainsaw Man, I'm pretty sure is the same team that works on JJK. It was set to be theatrically released in Japan on September. So yeah, I'm going to imagine... Oh, they have it on they have it on coming soon. This is Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, that's an interesting piece of artwork. This is the official Mappa website. So we have a teaser visual. I can't read any of this. But yeah. So yeah, we got a teaser visual. Oh, I think that was actually it. I just scrolled past it. Yeah. Yeah, that was all we got in March. So that was literally all we got in March. So no release date, no actual key visual, but you know, it's so clearly it's in production. Gonna be at least 2026. Yeah, in my opinion, that makes most sense, Jesse, for sure. First intro was my friend had volume 0 to 5 on a shelf and I needed something to read while he had work done at his house and was hooked. Hey, that's an awesome way to fall in love with a series. That's like such a memorable way. Yep, JoJo's Part 7 was indeed revealed. You want like Judas by Lady Gaga? Why does everyone use that song for manga animations? All right, but we took a nice little break. Let's get into Sakamoto days, y'all. All right, so hit that like button if you haven't already. Helps the stream way more than you know. Please. That being said, if you do not want to be spoiled on Sakamoto days, this is your chance to skedaddle. Appreciate you hanging out for Kagurabachi. Love the Kagurabachi community. If you want more Kagurabachi content, don't be scared. Check out my second channel. It is available. Link is in the chat. Go subscribe to the second channel if you have not already. That's where all my Kagurabachi content gets posted. And now, Sakamoto Days spoilers are all ready to go. So, last chapter of Sakamoto Days, we got to see a lot more of Uzuki's plot to basically overthrow the system of the JA, of the Japanese government, of everything. By giving everybody a gun, giving them 3 bullets, Uzuki was sitting high up on the highest tower of Japan and looking down at everyone and basically judging them for being so willing to kill, so willing to throw their lives away, or throw others' lives away, I should say. And it already started with 300,000 people plus dying, and as the days go on, they continually get that number gets higher and higher and higher. And Siba, who we cut to from the JCC, admits that, hey, you know what? Japan's gonna be cooked in a couple days if we don't do something. Because once 10% of a nation's population falls, it's possible that we could have a full collapse of a country and everything could just come down to, you know, we could fracture off, all out anarchy, you know, it could be really bad. One thing that I thought was funny is that for all of Uzuki's talk about trusting human nature and letting the humans dictate the system that emerges, and If a system of violence emerges, then we were always violent. If a system of, you know, peace emerges, then we were always peace. It's basically all, you know, kind of hypocritical of the fact that these guns all have, you know, a mechanism on them that can be locked remotely. Now, a lot of people were commenting, they were like, oh, you know, it's so that that way you can't put more bullets in them. It makes sense so that way it shuts the gun off. I understand that much. But I guess we'll get into it. It's interesting to me what's going to happen. Like when you use all 3 of your bullets, are people going to continue to kill? Are people going to, because a lot of people are saying, oh, like that way you can't put more bullets in it. But isn't that what the experiment is? Like if people start killing other people's and taking other people taking their guns and stockpiling the guns and stockpiling the bullets, isn't that just letting nature run its course? If you are deliberately restricting, you know, some of the conditions here, then you're not letting nature run its course. You're running a controlled environment. I don't know. We'll see what Uzuki's cooking with. Terrible social experiment, because then you get all your fucking citizens hooked on killing people, and then when they can't kill anybody anymore, they're either going to shut down completely and realize that they fucked up and, you know, made a major mistake and not be able to live with themselves, or they're going to super hardcore cope and begin to justify it, and be like, actually, you know what, it was completely okay, and actually I'm gonna keep killing people, stuff like that. Can I review Spy X Family? I want to read Spy X Family one day. I feel like I would like Spy X Family. I haven't read a single chapter or seen a single episode, but maybe I'll give it a shot. But yeah, that's enough of me being on my soapbox about Uzuki's terrible plan. The whole experiment's probably just some distraction. Well, let's get into it and see. It's time for Sakamoto Days 209, everyone. 3 days earlier. Day 1 of the citizens being permitted to bear arms. Hand over my money now. I'll kill you. Stop. Huh? Oh, pfft. With a baseball bat? Damn, broke his gun. That's the kind of craziest force I've seen in my life. You amateurs got no business with this kind of thing. Pfft, confiscated. Just taking just one gun at a time. Eek, those guys are destroying guns. That's so funny to me that, like, this is what the public is freaking out about. Those guys are destroying the guns. This is impossible. We'll never get them all. Well, it beats standing around doing nothing. What are the cops doing anyway? They aren't doing anything. They're in cahoots with the JAA. Maybe it'd be quicker to take down JAA HQ before they can hand out guns to the rest of the citizens. Hey, you jerks. What do you worms think you're doing? Those guys are from JAA. You guys are really into this? Doing X's bidding? Yeah, it's better than the old regime. X is raising the status of assassins. We're no longer confined to the underworld. That's no reason to let innocent citizens get caught in the crossfire. Making them fight to the death? There's no way that's the answer. What, you got a problem, punk? Neutralized. Those dudes are tough. Bastards. You punks are just wasting your energy. Huh? This society's better for assassins. Nobody's gonna side with you. You'll be squashed like bugs in no time. Hate to admit it, but they have a point. With the entire order against us. Not all of them. Hey, we got the Shishiba confirmation. I'm not siding with X. He's finally right where I want him. Do not get in my way now. That Mashimo's a good guy. What's he got up his sleeve? Meanwhile, back at JAA HQ, let's celebrate. This is the birth of the most powerful assassin group in history. Is he really there? Inside of him? Mr. Takamura? With the 10 gifted memberships now? My guy. Let's go. Thank you, Loud. I appreciate that love. That's huge. Huge. Big W indeed. Thank you for the support, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously. Jogo gang, rise up. I just want to say I never doubted Shishiba. 100%. I never doubted Shishiba. Shishiba was always the GOAT. Yeah, he's inside of X. Pretty sure. Dude, are you serious? Slur has an unusual kind of multiple personality disorder. We know that for sure. Oh, there goes my disguise. Oh, damn, so Shishiba and Nagumo were still in cahoots. They were in cahoots the whole time. Damn. Yeah, I knew it. Shishiba was never fucking with this, even from the exhibition. From the exhibition. If Mr. Takamura is in there, we have to attack him with the utmost care. If we screw this up. Damn, Nagumo is in there. Who is Nagumo? Nagumo's in here? Who the fuck? Yo, okay. He said they have to attack. We have to attack. Osaragi, don't follow me. Why? There's no need for you to make enemies of these guys. But I hate those guys. Just play it cool. This assassin-centered society Oki idealizes suits you well. Later, Mr. Shishiba. Yeah? We're enemies now. Right. All good. No, please no. This can't be it. Osaragi's not like that. Osaragi's not like that at all. Should be easy enough. Like getting rid of the speck of it, like a speck of dust in your eye. Simple and satisfying. This kind of job suits me. At least, I thought it did. I've had enough of the kind of killing that keeps me up at night. Damn. Mr. Shishiba. That's your name, right? Is there something I can do for you? Well, let's see. Nah, I don't think so. No fucking hesitation. Come on, Shishiba. Come on, baby. I can't have you fucking die on me today. This can't be a Shishiba death chapter. Before Mr. Takamura comes out. Let's get this over with quickly. Ah. Oki. Too bad, Shishiba. The thought crossed my mind when it turned out Yotsumura was alive. But meeting up secretly with that tattooed bastard. I don't hate you, buddy, but looks like we got no choice. Why, Shishiba? Well, let's put it this way. It was too much to carry. I thought you were smarter than this, Shishiba. Oh, man. He failed that quickly? Come on. Only Takamura can kill Takamura. True. Any last words, Shishiba? Yeah, I have a few. Go to hell. Oh. Let's go. The Osaragi setup. That panel alone made my day, not gonna lie. Oh, I feel that. Mr. Shishiba, I realized something. It's not an ideal world if there's people you hate in it. True. Okay then, let's kill them together. She would never abandon the goat. Yep, she would never abandon the goat ever. I knew she wouldn't. I knew she was stepping in. She always does have the best entries indeed. Yeah, they can't die. Please. Shishiba and Osaragi going out right now cannot be the way this story goes, man. I need Nagumo to pop in here. Nagumo's secretly the guitar guy, right? This is all still going according to plan. Why is Kumanomi still alive 3 days after this? No. Why'd you have to remind me that this was in the past, Loud? Fuck. No. Then that means Uzuki and Kumanomi are still alive after this. Fucking A, man. Well, now I'm upset. I hope they escape. I also hope that is the case. Wait, this fight is in the past? Yeah, this is 3 days earlier, I think. This is 3 days earlier. Ugh, man. I hope Shishiba and Osaragi don't fucking die here, man. Two of my favorite fucking characters. Two of my favorite characters of all time. Like I said before, Kagurabachi, how would you rate Sakamoto Days story? Sakamoto Days is fucking up there for me. I love Sakamoto Days. I've loved it ever since I fucking started reading it a long ass time ago. What would I give Sakamoto Days? Maybe like a 7 or an 8. Story-wise, the story isn't what I read Sakamoto Days for. I read Sakamoto Days for the high octane action, the insane fucking Yuto Suzuki choreography, and also the fucking fun and exciting characters to watch on screen. Dead ass. We talk about Shishiba holding his own and tanking the Sandblast. Proof Shishiba was cooking Sakamoto at any point so far in this story. Exactly, Loud. Exactly. I have not read Kindergarten Wars. I don't even know what the fuck that is. That sounds insane. Oh, hell yeah, man. All right. I hope Osaragi and Shishiba do not die here. Sakamoto tanked it too? Yeah, but Sakamoto was getting cooked. But Shishiba's in a 3v1. That's a good point. It's a good point. All right, y'all. Same as Kagurabachi. If you haven't already, hit that like button. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do a quick recap of the entire Sakamoto Days chapter. So I may not be able to catch any chats or anything that swings by, any donos or whatever, but I will get to them as soon as I can. I am going to just recap this entire chapter, get all of my thoughts out on it for the second channel. Have you read other manga like Ichi the Witch? I haven't given Ichi the Witch a shot, but what chapter is Ichi the Witch on right now? What am I gonna do after the recap? After the recap, we'll probably call it a day. We'll probably, we'll probably hang out. We're at about what, an hour 23? Probably do about a 2-hour stream, maybe a little bit longer. We'll see how we're feeling. But yeah, Ichi the Witch, what, they're at 30, chapter 30, and it's got a decent, actually got a really decent viewership all around on it. I might have to give Ichi the Witch a shot. Gojo versus Akaza, who wins? Gojo for sure. Looking over the fact that Sakamoto's wife got the pocket sand guy sweating. That is really funny, honestly. Oh. Nope. Bring back Sakamoto days. Hold on. Oh, meant Jogo. Oh, Jogo versus Akaza. The thing is, if Jogo gets hit, he's getting cooked, right? Jogo gets hit multiple times, he's hooked. Maybe 1 or 2. Same as like Yuji with the Black Flash. Like Jogo, Jogo's not tanking like heavy physical attacks like that. Jogo's much more of like a DPS long range fighter. So, I would probably go with Jogo personally, just because Jogo could literally just hang back. I mean, Akaza can fight long range too, but Akaza doesn't really have an answer to Jogo's domain, so that's a big thing. Akaza doesn't really have an answer for maximum meteor, that's a thing. So yeah, Akaza would be faster for sure. It's a close fight. Akaza has the advantage, I think, combat wise, but again, Jogo has domain, so it's tough to say. That's actually a really good question. Anyway, that being said, let me get right into this recap for Sakamoto Days, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me during these streams. Love the community, seriously. So the start of the next chapter of Sakamoto Days, Jogo said, "Stand proud." I'm sorry, I got Stunlocked said, "Stand proud, Akaza, you were strong." All right. Locking in. 3, 2, 1, baby. So the start of the next Sakamoto Days chapter starts with a flashback, and we cut to 3 days earlier of the very beginning of when all of the citizens and civilians were getting the right to bear arms and getting all of the guns. Which means that the last chapter that we saw of Ozuki looking over the high tower as the casualty mark hit 300,000 and higher, and people were saying that, and Siba was saying that as the days go on, if we hit about 10% of a population loss, we might just quite literally fail as a country and it's game over for Japan. All of this in this chapter is taking place 3 days before everything happening, which that is very important to note, especially with the events of this chapter, because it makes me question and also worry with how things go. Because at the very beginning of this chapter, everything is, while not lighthearted, very normal Sakamoto Days vibe. We've got all of the first few shooters that are probably the people in society that were already willing to kill someone, and now they just have a gun that's letting them take advantage of that, because this person is literally just robbing someone the moment they got a gun, waiting for someone else in line waiting for the gun. I'm gonna rob the people that haven't gotten their gun yet. which is just hysterical to me. But it shows you the kind of level of people that are firing guns on the first day. As we get towards the weak point, day 8, day 9, it's going to be much more innocent and much more people that you would never expect to fire a weapon like that. Shin, Boiled, and Kindaka are doing the absolute best that they can to remedy the situation, get as many guns off the street as they can by destroying them, confiscating them. But it's a question that people bring up in the United States of all, because once your entire population has guns, or once there are more guns than the entire population in a nation, it's almost impossible to get rid of all of them. There will always be one hiding around the corner. There will always be people that you don't find that are hiding, underneath bridges or so. Who knows? There's always going to be guns in Japan now. They cannot stop that. They are trying to solve a problem that is basically impossible to solve. And considering that all of the police officers are in line with the JAA, and you also have assassins that are working for the JAA that are running through the streets doing as they please, because just like Oki told us, being an assassin, having to confine yourself to the underworld, having to always hide yourself from civilians, having to never harm civilians at any cost, it was draining for assassins. It's a lot of rules that assassins have to follow, and now they don't have any rules. They can wander in squads with their guns revealed out in the open, and no one can do anything about it because they are the law now. Assassins are the ones that make the rules. They don't have to worry about anything. And the worst part is, Shin, Boiled, Kindaka, all the people that are a part of Sakamoto's gang are unique. They are all one-of-a-kind assassins. And that's something that the assassins that Shin, Boiled, Heisuke, and all of these people run into and beat up because, they're like, hey, we're top dogs now. They get their shits kicked. But the problem is, they are an anomaly. These people that just got their asses kicked are the standard. 95 to 99% of assassins in this entire JAA world are going to want to kill, are going to want to stop following rules and not follow the previous old JAA lifestyle. This new JAA style is suited for assassins that love to kill and just love to live their life as simple as possible. Which brings us to the next phase of this chapter, which is the highlight of it, I'm sure, for everybody. We know for a fact, it's something that was made very obvious earlier on at the start of this whole catastrophe when Shishiba and the rest of the order were attacking Sakamoto Dae's gang. Shishiba made a quick little shush moment to Shin, who he knows can read minds, and basically said, hey, I am not siding with X. I am not down for his nonsense. I am plotting to kill him. I've always wanted to kill him, and now I'm going to be in the exact same room with him and close enough where I can get a killing blow on him. Do not ruin this for me. Don't say anything. Keep playing. I'm not going to kill you, and all of these problems will be solved, which sounds too good to be true, right? And again, that's what makes me sad to know that this chapter and this story beat is happening 3 days before the Uzuki monologue that we got last chapter. The reason that Shishiba is turning on the order and going against everything that he knows he should be a part of is simple. Shishiba has learned too much from his former mentor, Yotsumura. After his big battle with Yotsumura, Shishiba has obviously been jaded to this whole assassin thing. He has been shown that sometimes following orders and just doing your job isn't the easiest way to go about life. Shishiba even mentions that he always thought that being an assassin and being in the order would be one of the easiest and simplest jobs in the world. You are contracted to kill people. It's that simple. Yet, faced with Yotsumura, Shishiba was, for the first time, shown the same struggle that his mentor went through earlier when he was framed for the death of his wife. Sometimes being an assassin isn't cut and dry. And who you are in that moment proves to you if you're fit for this role or not. And Shishiba, realizing that he couldn't kill Yotsumura, realizing that he couldn't land a killing blow on his mentor, despite what he wanted to believe, he couldn't deny it anymore. This whole world, this whole assassin life isn't for him anymore. He hates killing, especially when that killing leaves him up at night. Especially when he can't sleep knowing that he might have been the one that killed his sensei. When he does what he does and doesn't want Osaragi to follow in his footsteps. Shishiba wants to make his own choices, and he wants to stop getting people that he cares for killed. And again, this whole new world that Slur is setting up for assassins, where assassins are free and open to kill and not have any worries. It's the life that the perfect assassin would normally thrive in, like Oki, Torres, all the members of the order that are staying with Slur. They all love this. And Shishiba, realizing that he's not a part of this world anymore, tries to distance himself from Osaragi, telling her that this world is probably perfect for you. You know, you're easily able to be jaded to killing. You have not yet had this guilt pushed on your shoulders that you can't push off. Please, don't worry about me. But also, what Shishiba is doing here is Shishiba is trying to stop what happened to him from happening to Osaragi. Osaragi and Shishiba, while they are the dynamic duo, at the end of the day, very much are a parallel to what Yotsumura was to Shishiba. These two characters, the older member and the newer member, taking a newer member under their wing and just tagging along with them. He's showing them the ropes and just creating this mentor-apprentice relationship, even though that's not, it's very unofficial. Shishiba knows losing Yotsumura and Yotsumura turning against the assassin world fucked him up. And it basically led him down this path to where now he realized that Yotsumura was always right. But all of the chaos and terribleness that he had to get through to get there wasn't worth it. So in an effort to stop Osaragi from going down the same path, he tells her to stop following him and that they're enemies now. He's going to betray everyone, and they have no reason to make enemies. She has no reason to make enemies of Oki and the other order members. And as a woman of few words, and as a man who understands that, he just tells her goodbye, and she says, "This means that we're enemies." And Shishiba just says, "Yeah, that's all good." And to be honest with you, there's been so many videos over the last couple of last month or so of these Sakamoto Days chapters where I have dreaded an Osaragi and Shishiba fight, because these two characters get put up against each other and put on separate sides. And I was so terrified and worried of what might happen, but only to find out that the main order members, Osaragi, Shishiba, and Nagumo, are three characters that will always have each other's backs, not just because they're co-workers, but because they're friends, because they genuinely do care for one another. The same reason that Nagumo was willing to sacrifice the order for Sakamoto. The same reason that Nagumo was always willing to look out for Sakamoto and worry him and tell him, "Hey, there's a bounty on your head. Hey, I could probably kill you, so you should probably get stronger." It's that same bond. Because through the test of time, through everything that happened, even though Nagumo is on the opposite side, is an enemy as well, right? Now that Osaragi is Shishiba's enemy, Nagumo was an enemy too, and yet we still see that Shishiba and Nagumo were always meeting up and still plotting to this day. Talking about Mr. Takamura being inside of Uzuki, and they have to have utmost care when they go to attack him and assassinate him because they could trigger Takamura. And despite the fact that Oki, Torres, and the other Order members were able to pick up on the fact that Shishiba was meeting up with Nagumo in secret and was most likely a traitor, which ends up almost causing him to fail the assassination attempt on Slur, it's very clear to me that not just Osaragi, who in one of the most iconic entrances, a character that always gets some of the best entrances, I should say, Osaragi shows up behind the glass-stained window, smashing through it and saving Shishiba from fighting Oki, Torres, and Uzuki all at once. Because she says that, you know what, she thought about it, and this ideal assassin world is bullshit if people she hates are in it. And you know what? She hates everyone in the Order except Shishiba. So fuck it, she's on their side. And Shishiba can only just laugh and say, yep, let's fucking kill each other then. Now, in regards to Shishiba and Osaragi's betrayal of the Order, right now they're fighting Oki, Torres, and Uzuki. Uzuki has not managed to swap personalities yet and put Takamura in charge. Shishiba knows the moment Shishiba knows the moment Uzuki becomes Takamura, they have no chance of winning. Takamura is the ultimate assassin, the current strongest. I'm actually really beginning to wonder if Takamura was stronger than the #1 assassin Sakamoto. And Sakamoto was just like the new generation #1, right? Because he's someone that is so powerful, they all have to work around him. He's almost like Sakamoto Days Gojo, where he, as a plot device, is just, we have to work around him. Knowing that Shishiba and Osaragi are now going up against Torres and Oki, it's safe to say that this is going to be probably the hardest fight that Shishiba and Osaragi have ever had, besides the battle against Yotsumura. Shishiba was technically, quote-unquote, able to win that fight. The new gen passed the old gen, which is why Yotsumura is here supporting the new gen now. But does that win against Yotsumura solidify Shishiba as strong enough to take out someone like Oki, the new leader? Torres, I'm not worried about. Torres wasn't even able to kill Sakamoto, and even though Sakamoto wasn't able to beat Torres, if Torres couldn't kill Sakamoto, Shishiba is clearly higher than that level. Osaragi is the GOAT, I'm not worried about her, but what I do consider is all of this part of the plan. Osaragi showing up was definitely a surprise to Shishiba, but Nagumo, when making this plan, mentions we. Is one of the assassins in this building, Nagumo, planning to take out Uzuki and assassinate him? Is Nagumo also going to be a member of this three-way betrayal squad, or is it just Osaragi and Shishiba having one final big duo battle to end their lives with? Because, and I'll say it for the third time now to end this review, this whole event, this whole fight takes place 3 days before Uzuki having his high horse, the world is violent, 300,000 people are dying, look, I was right from the beginning, speech to Akira and Kumanomi. Which means Uzuki is still alive after this. And I guess my question is, and the question that we'll all have to ask, who else survives this encounter? Does Oki die here? Does Torres die here? But what I'm most worried about, do Osaragi and Shishiba die here? Because this final stand, Shishiba standing on his beliefs and believing that, you know what, this assassin world isn't all it's cracked up to be. It's time that the assassin world died. Is that mentality strong enough to overcome not just Oki and Torres, but Takamura, the focal point of the world's bloodlust? Because we already know he's coming out. Yuzo Suzuki did not give Uzuki Takamura's personality for it not to come out when he needs it the most. And obviously he survives. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the hell happens, because if this ends with some of my two favorite characters dying, it better be the best fucking way to go out that I've ever seen, and you bet your ass they better take out the entire goddamn order with them, and that better be the reason it's just Akira, Uzuki, and Kumanomi fucking left. The order better be toast after this. Listen, guys, I don't know what's happening, but all I know is I'll be here every chapter to talk about it. So if you enjoyed this review, hit that like button. It helps more than you know. Subscribe so you don't miss any future Sakamoto Days videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, 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 peace. All right, y'all, stream isn't over. Stream isn't over. That's just the end of the recap for YouTube. Just so you guys know, don't think I'm ending stream. But yeah, we're probably going to do another 15 minutes. Like I said, we'll have a 2-hour stream for sure. The entire order from Sakamoto Days versus Koro Sensei. True. Okay, I need to watch Assassination Classroom. Too many people bring that anime up, and I've never watched it or read anything about it, so I need to check it out. A lot of people say they like that. Whew. So yeah, I genuinely hope that Nagumo is a part of this whole fucking charade. I think there's no way he's not. Genuinely, he has to be, right? He definitely has to be a part of this facade, and at the very least, he's got to help Shishiba and Osaragi escape, or like, I don't know, do something, please. Do something, please. Help us, help. Kamihate and Nagumo better save them. True, we still don't know where Kamihate is. We still do not know where Kamihate is, and that is very important to remember. Kamihate as a sniper is like a huge key player in this whole event right now. So we have to know what side he's on. And I'm going to imagine he's going to be on whatever side Osaragi's on. Right? That's what makes the most sense to me. But yeah, we can only hope and pray. Kenjaku and the Disaster Curses versus Makima and the entire Devil Hunting Agency. I think the thing is with Makima is almost like impossible to kill. So that's the tough thing. That's really the toughest thing. I think Kamihate will definitely side with Sakamoto. Oh yeah, I think so too. Again, I think Kamihate is gonna side with Osaragi because he thinks Osaragi is cute. Whatever side she's on, I'm on, he said. They are adorable. They are so cute. They're so fucking adorable. Takamura versus Maki. Probably Maki. The thing is, Sakamoto Days just scales relatively lower than most like power shonen, you know? Like, that's the only thing. Sakamoto Days is just... Sakamoto Days just doesn't scale high enough. I mean, Takamura is crazy, don't get me wrong. But most Jujutsu Kaisen characters are like scaled in like city block, multi-city block. Takamura is like large building. Maybe a little higher than that. That's still huge, don't get me wrong. But... Takamura could probably capsize multiple buildings. I'd probably give Takamura like a city block level, honestly. Actually, no, he probably couldn't destroy an entire city block, but, you know, he can destroy a building, that's for sure. You watched him literally cut the fucking Tokyo Tower down. But, yeah, y'all, 2 really good chapters. Let's actually see. Since when did I start reading Sakamoto Days and caught up? I started reading Sakamoto Days when I think they first hit chapter like 100 or something like that. I was reading Sakamoto Days when what was the last chapter that I stopped? The last chapter when I caught up and there are no more chapters left, it was Shin and Akira were fighting Satoda Sensei at JCC. She was like training them, and Akira was like showing her paths. Shin was using like his power glove, all that shit. Who's more evil, Sukuna, Makima, or John Shaku? Probably Sukuna is the most evil. Makima is really, Makima's just like, I don't know. Makima is like, I wouldn't say Makima's evil. I would say she's like, there's a different word for it. She's more indifferent. She's more indifferent, I feel like. I feel like Sukuna is more like a better representation of evil. Like someone who just does what the fuck they want, purely hedonistic, will go out and kill an entire village if they want to, just because they're bored. Whereas Makima's more like, you know, sanctioned by the state evil. Sukuna's chaotic evil, Makima is quote-unquote necessary evil, if that makes sense. And I would consider Yora very similar to like Makima's level of like evil as well, where it's more like, it's more underhanded, masterminded, behind the scenes, less out in the open, causing, you know, genocide, more like making very clever background plays just to keep the world in your control. Yeah, I think Kajaku should have been the final boss for JJK. Do you think we'll see the Control Devil soon in Chainsaw Man? Yeah, I definitely think so. I definitely think we may either see Death, you know, using Nayuta and using her as the Control Devil. Now that we know, you know what I mean, know what Death's power is. It was the most evil character in Sakamoto Days. So I think that's a big, I think we're gonna get again, imagine if we see Power come back. That'll be crazy. That'll be one of the scariest things in the world. Denji would lose his mind. The most evil character in Sakamoto Days? Probably like Oki or something like that. Like he's probably the most evil spirited, right? Like he's the one that's fucked up in the head, that was willing to coup d'etat the order. Asaki is also evil as hell. Asaki was also fucking terrible. Tenkyu, true. Tenkyu also, good point. Although I don't know if I would classify Tenkyu as evil. I think I would classify Tenkyu as more like, Like, Tenkyu just... Tenkyu is just like, he just is just living in a different mindset, right? Like, Tenkyu wasn't going to kill Sakamoto's wife and daughter because he was like, more killing, more blood, yes, fuck, I just want to make the world as terrible of a place as it is. Like, he was like, I'm gonna kill Sakamoto's wife and daughter because I want to make my friends stop being mad at me. Uzuki, why are you mad at me? Stop being mad. Look what I did for you. That's what it was like. Like, it's just misguided, right? Like, Tenkyu, honestly, I feel like Tenkyu has potential to come back, right? Like, as like an ally. Tenkyu's more crazy. Like, yeah, Tenkyu was more just like, kid never had a chance, bro. He was he was raised from a child to just view the world through the assassin mindset. And it's interesting too how like Tenkyu is like almost like it's interesting, right? How Tenkyu is basically what Uzuki wants to make the whole world, just jaded to killing and just like, hey, killing is normal. This is like completely 100% normal. So it's interesting to me that Tenkyu couldn't be with them. Tenkyu was almost a prelude for what Uzuki wanted. Tenkyu was like the perfect thing, but I know a lot of people make the distinction that Rion was the one that pushed Tenkyu away, not Uzuki specifically. Yoru and Asa versus Sukuna and Yuji, probably, honestly, if we're giving Asa and Yoru the gun goddess and everything, probably Yoru and Asa. To be honest with you, as long as it's Yoru, Asa's not beating Itadori, but like Yoru versus Sukuna, if Yoru has the gun goddess, it's just over. Unfortunately, the Gun Devil kills Sukuna super easily. Gun Devil is OP. When will the last member of the X group appear? That's a good question. I don't know. Are we gonna get the last member of the X group at this point? I feel like now, what's left? There is one more still. Like, there was still the one more, but it's at this point it would be so late for them to come by, unless he's the one that like saves X in this moment. Like there's very much like we're running out of time to introduce new characters. I feel like. Can you explain in simple terms what the world slash is? I still to this day don't understand it. Listen, so the world slash is a controversial thing indeed. Personally, the way that I interpret the world slash is almost very similar to like the X-axis from Bleach, right? Where Sukuna picks a target out in space. This target can be anything in space, right? So like Sukuna targeted, let's say for example, there's a Coke can on top of a table. Sukuna's 10 feet away from it and he's aiming at it. Instead of firing a projectile shot from his fingers that just cuts through everything and ignores all durability, the way that I interpret it is Sukuna picks out exactly where the Coke can is in space as his target, and then the world slash just cuts right in that moment and just releases a long painted over slash directly over that space entirely. So everything in that space gets cut by dismantle. It's almost like, and it's like similar to the X-axis, where the X-axis, Lil Baro from Bleach picks a spot in reality and fires the X-axis, and no matter what is in between the X-axis and its target, it will always hit. It will always hit. And it's completely similar to where they show in the anime, right? When Oetsu is fighting Lil Baro, and when Lil Baro aims up his shot at Oetsu, and Oetsu is like, haha, right behind me is Yuhaba. If you shoot the X-axis and it goes through everything, it's gonna go through me and shoot your king. And then when Lil Baro takes the shot and it only hits Oetsu, Lil Baro confirms, he goes, hey, that was sound logic, but you are my target. The X-axis is just a direct line of shot to my target. It's not a direct line of shot in general. And that's the way that I understand the world cutting slash. I don't think the world cutting slash is just this projectile dismantle that cuts through anything and everything. I see it as Sukuna picking a target and then that it gets slashed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you are in the space where that target gets hit, you are slashed. The only reason Kashimo was able to dodge it was because he, one, gave Kashimo the opportunity to dodge it. He chose that specific point in time and space, and Kashimo, because he was lightning speed, was able to, move. He still got hit wherever that space hit, but Kashimo itself wasn't the target in that moment. It was quite literally just a moment in space, just whoosh, and the dismantle appeared in that moment. Because if it cut through everything, wouldn't it necessarily just cut through Kashimo or cut through that and then just continue cutting, and it would cut through all of the buildings and everything in Shinjuku? I don't know. That's my personal interpretation. I think it's almost basically just a reskin of Lil Baro's X-axis. You pick a target in space and it gets cut. It's that simple. Just like if Lil Baro aimed up that shot at Oetsu and fired, and Oetsu was quick enough to move out of that way, the X-axis is just gonna miss that spot because its target was where his head was. Digiskin is a reskin of Bleach. I wouldn't go as far to say that. There's some Bleach, inspirations. I mean, not for nothing, no one talks shit about Kagurabachi for wearing Naruto and Bleach inspirations on its sleeve. Like, Kagurabachi outright does Naruto and Bleach propaganda. Like, the Enchanted Blades are just Zanpakuto toes with three release commands, right? Like, let's remember that much. Importantly, like, the Kagurabachi's Enchanted Blades are just Zanpakuto toes with 3 release commands. The crow feathers making everyone fall asleep, that's quite literally directly from Naruto. The Masumi, the ninjas all have, scrolls that release, that hide certain things inside of it, which the scroll hiding things inside of it is also just a direct reflection of, capsules from Dragon Ball. There's always going to be aspects of a story that aren't completely original. It's just, it's just life. All stories have already been told. There's about, what's that theory where it's like there's literally like 4 or 5 different stories and they're just all told over and over again through different mediums and in different ways, but realistically at the end of the day you can just tie every story back to like one core of one course original story, like the hero's journey, blah 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 blah, all that stuff. Gaku is cooked. Gaku died, right? Gaku literally got a sword stabbed through his brain, right? Maybe I'm misremembering that, but like I feel like everyone always asks me, like, is Gaku dead? Is Gaku still alive? But like, oh no, he didn't. Okay, so he didn't get stabbed through the head. He did get stabbed through the chest. I'm gonna have to say Gaku and Haruma died. I don't think they're coming back. They're definitely dead. They're definitely cooked. But if he's still alive, I'm not gonna be mad. Gaku is one of my favorite characters. But I think him and Haruma died. And I think that was a great way to have them die, right? Last X-member was Sakamoto's wife, but she defected and renounced killing. Now that would be a development prodigy. She was an assassin the whole time. What's the name of the anime of the guy in your thumbnail? I honestly don't know. I literally Googled anime, and that was the thumbnail that I went with, and I just decided to never change it. Anyway, y'all, we are at that moment in time. I'm going to call it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. It's time for me to eat lunch, start making some of these thumbnails for the second chapter. And I am working on a fun Devil May Cry video that I will hopefully have out for you guys tomorrow. I was hoping to have it out today after the stream, but I still have 2 minutes to do in the video because I've been putting a little bit of extra effort into it. I even made like a fun little AMV inside the video, so I put a little bit of extra effort into it. And also I'm just waiting for the thumbnail to get finished being drawn, so I should have that tomorrow from what the artist tells me. And then so I should be able to upload that video tomorrow, so look forward to that. How would Gojo and Makima interact with each other? There is an entire death battle of Gojo versus Makima, and I think that is probably the best animation that you could do of Gojo and Makima interacting with each other. Gojo's too silly, Makima's too, you know, emotionless. It'd be a little crazy, it'd be a little weird. But guys, if you haven't already, I know I said it a lot in this video, but that's just because we need the likes on stream. Hit that like button, helps more than you know. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more Kagurabachi Sakamoto Days content, I do more content than just the streams and like the chapter reviews. I do definitely also do a bunch of original content on the second channel. So channel link is in the chat. My next stream will be, I believe, Monday. So yeah, tomorrow night. We're gonna have a Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade stream. It's time to get back into that main story, god damn it. And then we'll have members stream Wednesday, and then I'll think of something fun for a Friday night stream. And yeah, guys, sending a bunch of love. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night. If you're in a different time zone, I'm sending you that spirit bomb energy the best way I can. And yeah, I genuinely appreciate you guys hanging out with me on another Shonen Sunday, and I'll see you guys next week and on the next stream. Everyone be good. Peace, peace, peace. The dogs say bye too. Bye.